Tejano time! Welcome to another episode of It's Tejano Time. I'm your host for It's Tejano Time. Hey, welcome to another episode. Remember, I think I told you guys the first 20 are not going to be the best episodes, but I hope today's is, and I'm enjoying it. And for those people who are new to It's Tejano Time, no, Bobby's not going to come here live. Well, I don't know. Maybe if you guys know Bobby, share it with him and maybe he'll join us in the chat. We're live on It's Tejano Time. And today we're featuring Bobby Pulido. Okay. I went through all my footage. Well, not all of the footage, but just my recent footage of him. And I didn't want to air it with you guys without editing it. So what I did is I researched Bobby. And by the way, I don't know if everybody knows out there, but he's running for Congress, okay, for Texas. And I think he's going to be, I think the vote is in a couple weeks, okay? So you have to get out there and vote at the primaries. I can't, I'm not big into politics, so hopefully everybody's registered to vote. I think it's early voting. And November 5th, I think, I'm a teacher. I'm teaching at a college in Dallas College. And today I saw the voter booths and I saw, oh, yeah, I forgot it's about voting. So I decided I was going to highlight Bobby Pulido because he's running for Texas office. I think he's running for state representative for Texas. Not quite sure. I wish I did a little bit more, but I just thought about it just recently. So I decided I'm going to make it a little bit different. I looked for videos, and I saw someone who did it better than I did. All right, so I'm going to share that person's music videos of footage of Bobby, and I also sought out a couple things, and I have a personal story about Bobby Pulido, and I'm going to share it at near the end of the show. Okay, so if anybody out there knows Bobby. And they're actually one of the story I'm going to share with you has to deal with somebody who overheard me and a friend talk about Bobby Pulido. Okay, and I'm going to share it with you and add a little bit more to it. Okay, so it's going to be at the very end. So stay tuned. And well, you can't fast forward it if you're live with me, but hopefully you are. I hope you enjoyed the come and join me on the chat. And here on I am probably the worst person to do this, okay? We have a segment called Wait, no, that's not it. See, I'm the worst person to say that. It says, Tejano Nation, your number one source for Tejano news, okay? Yes, okay? Like I said, I am the worst person to say this. I still need to practice, and I edit this show live, so for everybody who's out there thinking that Bobby's going to be here, he's not. Okay, unless someone joins that. And if he does see this, I hope someone shares this with him and he comes on to our podcast, Tejano Talk, and that's every Tuesday at the same time we do it. If we don't have a guest, then you get a solo show with me, okay? But let's talk about Tejano Nation, your number one source for Tejano news. By the way, it'd be great if Tejano Nation sponsored us by just airing it on their channel, okay? Or writing an article. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. I just read these off the top of my head. I mean, I didn't pre-screen which ones, but there's certain favorite ones I like to see. But well, at the front of it says Little Joe reflects on 85 years of music, activism, and love. I had Little Joe back in the 90s, and I had Bobby Pulido on the show. If you want to see my Bobby Pulido shows on It's Tejano Time, just check it. I put on my favorite top 50 shows, and Bobby came on the show a couple times, and I'm going to reference that episode in my story. Okay, but I had Little Joe on the show, and many years ago, he was awesome. And one thing I'm going to share a story right now with you about Little Joe. I think I was in Fort Worth at Marine Park at the North Texas on the Music Festival, which there's a poster back here, but you can't see it right now under my view. But he was telling me about his trip to Japan, and he was playing Tejano music, and I go, what? There's Tejanos in Japan, and he said, "Buddy, there's lots of it everywhere," and I just laughed, but yeah, that's true. I mean, I remember Bumper on a show. He didn't realize there were uh, Tejanos in Michigan or Wisconsin, he, I think he knew Florida and California and stuff like that, but up north, we didn't realize we had a big migration of Tejanos that went there because for the crop seasons and stuff like that, and some just stayed there, and they still love Tejano music, just like Bobby. And I'm going to share some footage of what Bobby has said about, and I really enjoyed researching them today, and I want to share some of that with y'all. Okay, but Little Joe's on here. Okay, Netflix dropped Selena's Y Los Dinos documentary trailer. You know what? Let's go to the news part like that. All right. Jennifer Pena confirms Corpus Christi. I think I did look at this earlier, and you could see where she's being booked. I know we're based out of DFW. I know she's going to be in Dallas. Let me just click on it and see. And her tour dates in Dallas. Whoops. Let's see. It says she's going to be at the Majestic Theater February 28th. I'm in Dallas at the Tobin Center in February 27th. She's going to be in San Antonio. The Tobin Center, I've only been there once, and it was for the Pulido Awards last year. And it was awesome. I went to the Pulido this year. It happened to be this past weekend, and I liked it at the Tobin Center a lot better. And it was a little bit different. Not a lot of Tejano that I would have loved to have seen, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go next year. But Danny Farias, I think he did probably the best job he could. But I do like the Tobin Center. But the Majestic Theater in Dallas, I thought there's no dance floor there. So I don't know what kind of concert it's going to be there for Jennifer. Okay, so not sure if I'm going to go. Let's see. Okay, this is something I wanted to know about the 45th annual Tejano Music Festival. Awards. It's going to be in Houston, and they announced that Ram Herrera and Monica Saldivar are going to be part of the lineup. And I think a couple weeks ago we said that Lucky Joe's going to be there, the Crazy Pimps, and I didn't know David Olivares and the Homeboys. Elias, all right. I love Elias performing. He's awesome. And El Plan. To be honest, I didn't know who El Plan was. Remember, I was out of it for 20 years, but I did a little research, and they're from Monterrey, Mexico, is their origins, and I did listen to some of the music, and I like it. It's not bad. I'm looking forward. I do plan to be in Houston, where it's at a nightclub. I can't remember. It's in Katy, Texas, and the table. I found out the tables are all sold out. So I applied for the media pass, and I'm probably going to buy a ticket so I can watch the show. Also, let's see. It's at. Does it say here? Oh yeah, I forgot Alex Ramundo. I think I shared a story about his sister back in the day, Margot Ramundo. If you didn't hear it, I told his story in Tejano Talk. Let's see. It's at the Texas Rodeo Saloon. Okay, and only general admission tickets are available right now, so get them while they're hot. All right. Let's see. What else is there? Okay, we talked about that. Oh, public voting is now open, and I think it's only open for 2 weeks. All right, for the Tejano Music Awards. Yeah, it says voting is now open at the TejanoMusicAwards.com and will continue until Wednesday of October 29th before midnight. So if you're going to vote quick. All right. Let's see. Anything else that I want to highlight? Intocable delivers a powerful message, unity, hope, and healing with a short film. Okay. Oh, here's where they talk about El Plan and let's see, Jennifer Pena. Okay, they talked about it too. Okay, I think that's probably enough for Tejano Nation, your number one source for Tejano news that you can abuse. I think someone said that on MTV a long time ago. All right, let me see. Okay, remember I edit this on the fly, so let's see what we have here. I'm gonna put. Let me see. Okay, we know that Bobby's gonna be campaigning for the congressional. He has a congressional campaign, and I want to show. Let me see. Whoops. Let's see. Do this. Yeah, I'm going to share this, and hopefully everybody can hear it. Because last week I had, let's see, J.R. Gomez was on Tejano Talk last week, and he gave me his new music, which I had never done before on my show, and so I screwed it up. It ended up being a file that I couldn't use, so I had to convert. I should have converted it. All right, and let's see. You know, I do this on the fly, everybody, so bear with me. Oops. Okay, now this is sort of like Bobby's commercial for those people who want to know more about it, and we'll play that here. Okay, so hope you enjoy it. Whoops. Here on It's Tejano Time.
South Texas. It used to be a place where people with a dream knew that with dedication, hard work, and the grace of God, you could make it. Where even a migrant farm worker named Jose Roberto Pulido, who traveled from state to state with the growing season, could put down his own roots and build a future for his family. You may know me as Bobby Pulido the singer, but I am Jose Roberto Pulido Jr., the son of that migrant farm worker, a son of Edinburgh, and 100% South Texas Tejano. Let me tell you, I won't stand by and watch the South Texas that raised me, that gave my family a chance, be torn down and divided by people who don't know who we are or how we live, who convince us to hate each other over party labels. Look, I'm not Team Red or Team Blue. South Texas, I'm Team U. The truth is, costs are through the roof and crushing families and small businesses down here. And our representatives in Washington don't have the courage to stand up to greedy corporations, billionaire donors, or even their own party to do what's right for us. Well, let me tell you, I do. Because I know what it's like. I'm a dad raising 4 boys here. Hell, I don't even have health insurance because it's too expensive. I know for us, immigration is a human issue and an economic issue. Good families torn apart, y nuestra comunidad living in fear. I'm sick of seeing that. Yes, we have to get the criminals out and secure the border, but we can do that without destroying families and our South Texas economy. I've spent decades using my voice to bring people together. Now, I'll use it to fight for the place we call home, because this is the only stage that really matters, and it's worth fighting for. We are South Texas, 100%. I am Bobby Pulido, and I approve this message.
Whoops. Whoops. Okay. And I approve this message too. Whoops. Did I not do that right? Okay. I was trying to clap, but I guess it doesn't work. Okay. I think that was an excellent commercial or platform that he's saying. I didn't know he didn't have insurance. I would highly suggest you get that as soon as possible. But yeah, Trump has kind of changed things, and the Republican Party. I'm a Democrat, and I've long been a Democrat, but I didn't vote this. I was sick during the election, so I didn't vote. But I think I'm going to start being more independent because I predominantly vote Democrat. But I do believe I'm a conservative Democrat, if you can, and I'm also liberal. So I straddle the line both sides depending on the issue, but I normally vote Democrat. And but Bobby sounds like a good candidate. And he has Bobby was born and raised in Texas. I wasn't, but I've always said this. I wasn't born in Texas, but I got here as quick as I could. I like to consider myself a Tejano also, because this is where my daughter's born, my wife's born here, and a lot of my excuse me, a lot of my family's lives here in Texas. So, and I remember my grandparents. We used to come visit in Boca Chica in Brownsville. So I say the RGV. When I moved from California to Texas a long time ago, Well, I lived in Brownsville for a bit. All right. Okay, but I know this is not supposed to be supporting Bobby, political show or anything like that. So I am going to show you some footage from. Let me see where's it at. Let me get rid of this. Okay. Uh, whoops. Cancel. Sorry, I forgot. Remember, I'm doing this on the fly, everybody, and let's see. Yeah, this is the one I want. Okay, add this, and I took this footage is from Vegas Tejano when Bobby performed there in 2022, and I think this was my first Vegas Tejano that I did, and I attended. Let's see, because as you know, I was gone for 20 something years before I came back. My show was back in the 90s. The original Tejano Times were back in the mid 90s. I started it in 95, no, 96. 95 when Selena passed away. I decided to start my own show. And it was a Tejano music video show. And like I said, Bobby was on the show before. Of course, he might not remember me, but if someone tells him to come by, oh, you know what? Before we do this, I do see some comments up here, so I don't want to forget my faithful friends and followers. Let's see, Luis. Hey, what's up, Luis? I can count on Luis to be on here. Thank you for joining us again. I'm doing good. Hey, Alfredo with Grupo Fijo. How's it going? What's up, buddy? I'm good. I just came back from San Antonio from the Pulido Awards. I don't think you missed anything if you didn't go. All right. But Danny did his best. Okay. Luis says, wow, fantastic memories from Lil Joe and Bobby from the 1990s. Yes. Hey, you want to relive them? You go back to my old shows. Okay. Let's see. First and foremost, I've never heard of Tejano music in Japan after a trip, buddy. Hey, I did not know either, but Lil Joe is very popular, and Japan likes to American music, and Tejano is probably as American as you can get, in my opinion. All right, even though it's in a different language, but we don't have an official language. But Trump might decide to change that. We will see you there. But okay, so you're going to be at the TMA in Houston. Okay, I think it's like November. I think it's a Saturday. It's November. No, man, it might be on a Friday. I think it is on a Friday. I think it's November 20 something. I can't remember exactly. Let's see. Bobby made South Texas commercial the first time, bro. Okay, cool. All right, let's see. I agree that Bobby Pulido is a sick of immigrants because it's a human issue. Great message. Okay, I think you misspelt it. Okay, or I read it wrong. All right. Hey, this is someone, Youngstar 7. It's Tejano time. Oh, okay. That's not how I spell it, but hey, that's cool. All right, Alfredo. Let's see. There's actually conjunto that are from Japan. Oh yes, I do remember going to some festival in San Antonio, and they had an all Japanese Tejano band, and they were pretty good. All right. Okay. So let's get to this. I might show you a couple segments. I've got another video that I want to show you that Bobby did. I didn't know that he did a tech talk. If you don't know what it is, I'm going to show it to you in a little bit. Okay. But this is Bobby Pulido. Okay. Let me tell you. Well, you know what? I'm going to recrop this so you could see the person. If you want to see the whole thing, let's see. I'm going to give this person credit because I did I think it's, yeah, Mary Bueno Rostiro. I can't, sorry. Like I said, I suck at Spanish. She did a wonderful job. I think she did it with her cell phone, but she did a wonderful taping this. And even though I was backstage, I was in the media, and people were crowding the back, and I got lots of footage of camera guys there. But Mary got some real good footage. She has, let me see, 29 minutes of footage of Vegas Tejano, and I'm sure it's all Bobby. I'm not sure, but I'm going to share this with you. Bobby is playing the guitar at Vegas Tejano 2022 here on It's Tejano Time.
Muchas gracias. ¿Cómo están? Un aplauso para Rubén Ramos en la Texas Revolution, también para mi jefe Roberto Pulido. También los García Brothers, un aplauso para ellos. Siempre me preguntan quién es mi cantante favorito y mi papá se enoja porque no digo que es Roberto Pulido. Roberto Pulido es mi persona favorita. Pero mi cantante favorito siempre ha sido el señor Vicente Fernández, que falleció. Y quiero cantar este homenaje al señor, que dice algo así.
right, Bobby. Okay, awesome. Let's see if the applause. My applause is off. Okay. Yeah, that's Mary has a lot of footage of that. I think she recorded the whole thing of him. So that's just a taste. If we have time, well, we normally a 30-minute show, but I want maybe if we have time, if you guys want to watch another video, well, maybe if I feel like it. Okay, but there is another video that I want to show y'all that I did not know that Bobby Pulido did a TED Talk. All right, and I'm not going to show you the whole thing, okay, but it was very good, and I found it on his website. Okay, and I want to share you just a portion of it, not the whole thing, but he did have a pretty good message about Tejanos and things like that, and I just want to share you a portion. I'm editing, that's why I haven't showed it yet. Okay, but it's a TED Talk from McAllen, Texas, where he was invited, and I watched the whole thing. I think you should go to his website or go to TEDx Talks and just my Tejano country journey. Well, you know what? I'm just going to give him credit. So I was going to crop them out, but let's not do that. So you can check out the whole thing if you want to, which I think you should. It made me proud to hear some of the things he was saying, and I'm going to show you a portion of it. All right, here on It's Tejano Time. It's Bobby Pulido, TED Talk McAllen. All right, here on It's Tejano Time.
In 2022, I was nominated for the Best Tejano Album at the Latin Grammys in Las Vegas. I'd been nominated 4 times and never won. The day before, I was doing interviews, and in one of these interviews, this DJ asked me why Tejano music was dying. And it really upset me. It took me back to that disrespect I had felt in California years back. I told him, we weren't dying, of course not. We just needed to develop new talent. I stewed about that all night. The next night, I'm hearing all the names of the nominees, mine included. And finally, I heard my name as the winner. I finally won a Latin Grammy. So I walk up there and I don't know what I'm going to say. I didn't want to jinx myself, so I had not thought of a speech. So I thanked everybody I had to thank, and I just felt the need to say this. La música tejana vive y nunca va a morir, porque somos más que un género musical, somos una cultura, y yo soy muy orgulloso de ser tejano. Tejano music lives and it'll never die, because we are much more than a musical genre. We're a culture. And I am very proud to be a Tejano. I felt a lot of relief after that speech. But not because I had won. Because I was there representing my people, my culture. And yes, even defending it. I've been very blessed over the years to have earned fans that are Tejanos, Mexicanos, and first and second generation Mexican Americans. And I can tell you, we have more in common than what we can imagine. The difference is that us Tejanos, we got a head start. Our ancestors went through all of this a long time ago, through acculturation. Now, it's acculturation, not assimilation. There's a difference. Acculturation means you can be proud of who you are and keep those traditions of our ancestors alive. And at the same time, love this country, the United States of America. Love it with everything you've got. Be grateful to it. And at the same time, in many cases, also be willing to die for it. Thank you. I'm not done yet. But it's acculturation, not assimilation. Acculturation takes time, and we need to have patience. And I would be remiss if we know somebody or see somebody that looks Mexican and doesn't speak a lick of Spanish, we need to show them some grace. The same way, if there's somebody that just got here to this country and they're trying to make their way, we also need to show them some grace because we don't know their stories. Everybody has a story. Even the Mexican boxer Canelo is trying to acculturate, albeit with cuss words, but I give him credit. At least he's trying. Last year, I started a musical competition called Cora Fest for kids. Its goal is to help these kids, provide an avenue for them to export our music and to maybe even make it big. We had kids from high school, junior high, and even elementary. 21 bands participated our first year. And I'll say this, numbers never lie. Our future is as bright as ever. We ain't going nowhere. And yeah, you can call me Pocho. Just remember that us Pochos, we have feelings too.
All right. I enjoyed that. I think everybody should watch the whole thing. I enjoyed listening to the whole thing, but it's whoops, I almost forgot. Turn it off. All right. I decided I'm not going to play another video. If you want to go check out Mary's video and watch the whole thing. I enjoyed watching the whole thing. I just decided to pick the one that he was playing the guitar. Now, for those people that are sticking around, that because I did promise you a story about Bobby. Okay. Okay, let me tell you the story when I first met him. Okay. And you got to get, okay, now remember, he did say something about, I do enjoy, I did like his message that he said like that, and something about grace. Okay, let me tell you a little bit. So when I tell you a story, give me a little grace, let me finish it, okay? All right, back in the 90s, when Tejano was big, Bobby just started, and I had interviewed everybody that I interviewed his dad, I had Mas, I had Jay, Ram, Emilio. I did it after Selena passed away. Shelly, I have a wonderful relationship with Stephanie, so that's why she's one of my favorites. And I met Bobby. Okay, out of all the interviews I ever did, Bobby was the first one to give me instructions. He said he wouldn't answer this, and he said, I don't want to talk about this, blah 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 blah. And I was going, okay, no worries. I was going to ask you that stuff. I didn't say that to him, but in my head I said, okay, no worries, no problem. But in my head I said, I was going to ask you that stuff anyway. And but I thought he was a little arrogant. Okay, now remember I said give me some grace, all right, before you go that. And because I had interviewed much bigger artists than Bobby, including his dad, and nobody ever told me not to ask certain questions. Okay, and I'm going to finish that story. And so I interviewed it. It was an awesome interview. You could see it on It's Tejano Time. Like I said, I put my top 50 shows in, and Bobby I think was in one or two. I think I put 2 shows that Bobby was in my top 50. So. Okay, now fast forward to 2022. All right, I was at Vegas Tejano, and one of my friends, I'm not going to mention my friend's name because if you watch Tejano Talk, you will probably know who I'm talking about. But he was asked to interview, do a show, and take footage of Bobby for another show, so. He agreed to do it. He brought all his equipment and was going to do his show. But the morning before, he and I went out to breakfast. All right. And we were talking about that. And then I shared the story about my first impression of Bobby. Okay. About, I was thinking he had a big head. But that was my first initial impression. Remember, give me some grace. I'll finish this story. All right. And I said, I thought Bobby was so arrogant, and that he put conditions on me. He just started and stuff like that. But then I shared with my friend and said, but you know what? Years after, I started realizing, I can understand why he did that, because at that time, he there was rumors about him and Selena just passed away, and so he didn't want any of that to perpetuate and stuff like that. And so I understood later, okay, why he probably did that, and he was probably being asked those questions all the time and stuff like that. And then and one of my friends shared another story about him, and and stuff like that. And then the next day, my friend, after the interview, he tells me, "You will not believe what happened." And I said, "What?" I said, "I went to go interview Bobby for this interview, and he stopped me and pulled me off to the side and said, 'I heard that you were talking bad about me,' like that." And my friend said, "We were talking bad about him. We were just sharing stories about us." But it turns out that there was a guy that was sitting at the restaurant, okay? And he only heard part of the conversation. He didn't hear, he didn't, and so he called Bobby, I guess he knew him and stuff like that, and said that we were talking shit about Bobby. And, so my friend got well, I'm relating the story that my friend told me about Bobby, like that. And it was probably me that said the most stuff about Bobby, in any kind of negative way where that guy heard me say it. But he didn't, Bobby didn't know who said it, and Bobby doesn't probably know who I was or remember who I was. But, and so he said, I heard a friend like that, and my friend said, there was a conversation, but you heard it, what is that? By someone else. Like he said, she said, blah, 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 like that. Said, we did talk about a story, but if I was going to talk shit about you, Bobby, I would have done it in your face. And you know what? And I said, I would have done the same thing. Anytime I relayed this story, I said, hey, I didn't mean any disrespect. I didn't talk shit about him. I said I understood about it. And I never said anything about that back in the day that, Bobby's a little ignorant, little pissant or anything like that. I never said anything like that. I said, but I thought it was a little arrogant. And I said it to myself. But later on, I can understand that. So, back then, I could have been more, I did give him grace. He gave me grace and stuff like that. And after my friend had talked to him, it says, okay, I understand. It's my friend told me this, and, he could have exaggerated and stuff like, which he did, and he only told the part that he wanted to hear or he did hear. So, so that's kind of the story, and I don't think we have, there was no animosity, nothing bad like that. But you know what? When Bobby said, grace, everybody has to be graceful. I mean, there might be other stories out there. Bobby's running for a political office, and then people are going to talk shit about everybody like that. But you know what? I encourage everybody to go out there, vote, tell their friends, vote for Bobby, all right? And if you hear some stories about, Bobby being, inconsiderate or not friendly, or he snubbed you or something like that, give a little grace, okay? Because there's a lot, we don't know what's happening with the people out there. And, back in the 90s when I interviewed him, there was a lot of stuff that was put on to Bobby. He's starting out. He's the Prince of Tejano, and rumors were starting and everything like that. But we all need to have a little grace out there, okay? And so it's early voting. I encourage you if you don't live in the RGV area where you could vote for them, you might have family there. Encourage them to vote early. Bring your ID, because this is Texas. All right. And tell their friends to vote, and let's get Bobby elected, okay? I think he will be good. I think in his younger days, he wanted to be a lawyer, and he chose another path. Well, guess what? I think he wants to do this also, and I think he'll do just as well, if not better, than his time. And his talent is pretty good, and I think he has a calling for politics. Now, I have a calling. I used to feel that way too, and I might be just too old. But if I retire, who knows? I might dip in there too. And I would love to help Bobby out there if I lived in that area. And I encourage everybody, if he gets this a nomination or position, support him, support Tejanos. His heart is into it. And I just want to encourage everybody to go out there and vote. Okay? And just vote. I mean, if you don't have to vote for Bobby, but I think you should. Okay? If I was near it, I would vote, but you vote your conscience. And you know what? I feel like I should play another video. Okay? So let me see what I got. I'm going to use Mary's side again. All right? And because I really did like her videos. All right? So, I got, I have to edit on the fly here. Share. Okay. And, but I hope I didn't get too political on you guys. But when I was researching Bobby, I felt that, you know what? Why don't I make this a very supportive show about Bobby? And, and I did like that. He said, we should give everybody grace. And I think if Bobby's got his heart into doing this, that he should give it an opportunity to do so. So let me see. Let me scroll a little bit. I think his dad, he sang with his dad also. And I shot footage of that, but I had a bad view of it because the camera guy was in front of me and stuff like that. So let's see. Okay, I might not play the whole song, okay, but let's see how much we can listen to. Okay, again, this is on Mary Buenos Rostro. Okay, you'll see it at the bottom here. I think the whole thing is like 30 minutes, so you can listen on, and I will just play one song, okay, and then I'll end it. right, that's Bobby Pulido here on It's Tejano Time. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I got a little political on here, but I want to encourage everybody again to get out there and vote. I mean, you don't have to vote for Bobby, but I think you should. All right. So until next time, remember, it's always Tejano time. All right. Whoops. Okay. End broadcast.